I was just wondering if you could use yourself the professional services of a water boy.
Prepare yourselves, fools. This program contains graphic language like fuck, shit, and cunt. It also contains discussions about violence and graphic descriptions of gore, such as cunt punning a dead nun while the entrails and blood splatter your face in your new shirt. I digress. This show is for adults, so dispose of your children as you see fit. Now silence and enjoy the show.
Bigfoot, undisputedly the world's most entertaining cryptid. Join the Reverend Jeff Kelly and your old pal Wes as they discuss the best and worst the media has to offer. Movies, books, TV shows, commercials, all on Bigfoot Entertainment Weekly.
BEW, bitches. That's right. And I'm the host of all this mess. That's right. I am your host, the Reverend Jeff Kelly. And as always, with me is Sir Wesley Losner of Lounge. How you doing, buddy?
Hello, greetings.
WesLosner.com. It's ending. The art sale is nearly done. So it's over?
Yep.
Yep, we all missed out. Tough shit. There's no good stuff there. We ain't WesLosner.com.
It went on for a week or so, or a little over a week. Yeah, it's done now.
That'll definitely do it to you. Don't forget to run on over to Facebook.com/Angels Dust Seasoning and get yourself some of the most amazingly tasty. I don't know what's in it because it's like secret ingredients. It's like the Colonel's secret recipe or something. But
LSD.
No. I mean, it goes good on anything. Hot dogs. It goes good on hot dogs. How is it possible? I don't know. It makes hot dogs better. Angels Dust Seasoning. Going over to Facebook and talk to Troy and get you some for yourself. Okay, this week we are talking about Monster Quest. Monster Quest. Some of our favorite episodes of Monster Quest that involved Bigfoot. And the very first one was episode 2, Sasquatch Attack, starring none other than the Meldrum. So they get this word that there's this cabin on Snellgrove Lake, and they make it out to be as though it's this super remote area place that nobody could ever get to ever unless they come in here by plane. Yeah, not exactly true. But, hey, whatever. They got in there by plane, so it must be true. We saw it on TV. So, take it away, Wes. Let's go.
Yeah, so, I mean, every episode of Monster Quest does the whole run through the episode. Like, you're going to see everything that's going to happen right in a matter of 30 seconds.
Right, so there's no really reason to watch the whole show. But
you know the results and everything in these first 30 seconds of the tests and all that shit. So then they do the whole, Monster Quest, science.
Monster
Quest. And then
the eyeball. The eyeball always got me.
Yeah. What is that? Is that Hogzilla?
I don't know what that is. I'm not a Sasquatch.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe it's Hogzilla. But yeah, so after that they introduce Snellgrove Lake and they give the whole background to it and its whole intro they play, and then they talk they do like every episode they do this. They break it up and they do the okay, we're gonna give you bits and pieces of these people's Sasquatch sighting story, and then we're gonna go back to them later.
Right, as though you have to piece it together
the
through the whole
thing.
Right,
because really, they have this fucking dude tell you something 4 fucking times. They just play the same clip 4 fucking times, and it's like a fucking minute-long clip of this dude talking, and they literally played it that many times, and I'm just like, what a waste.
Could have filled his own segment with just that one clip.
Oh, fuck me. But yeah,
But remember, it was only episode 2 of Monster Quest. It was a brand new series.
That's true. Their editing did get better because that show, I love that show. So.
Yeah, the editing did get better, but this particular one, we'll get there. There's lots of things to point out in this one.
Yeah, so then they give you history on Sasquatch and how it got its name and everything, and then from there they tell the story of the incident at Snell Grove, and I don't know why the fuck it says Canyon, but it says Canyon in my notes.
I have no clue why. Well, I mean, the dude that owns the cabin, something showed up while they had it locked up for the winter and really effed up the cabin. Like everything in the cabin was freaking broken.
I meant the right cabin, and
you wrote Canyon.
Because, it's one of those days.
But I mean, they go in after the insulation in the refrigerator because it supposedly smells like an ant colony. Boric or phosphoric acid or some crazy crap. I don't know, but literally, like everything in the cabin was so broken that they thought it might have been kids. And then they go back again with the whole farce of, well, the closest town is 200 miles away, and there's only 10,000 people in it, so it couldn't have been people.
Yeah.
And there's not really true. There's a village not that far away with like 2,500 people in it. But, okay, the closest city is 10,000 miles away, but we'll move on.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say, because in the second episode, they drive to some sighting.
Right. Not far from there, and there's roads right there. And how did the car get there if there was no way in there but plane? But we'll get there when we get to the second episode of this.
Yeah. So then they talked to a fella named Joe Frisella. I probably said his last name. Yeah. See, I'm fighting a sneeze. But yeah, so they tell his story and shit, and then I guess he heard wood knocks, and
we decided to wood knock back.
Yeah, and then the cabin was, I guess, attacked.
Later that night came. I've never been so scared in my life. One of the dudes got up to brush his teeth, and as soon as he got to the window, the whole building began to shake like the devils was just picking it up and dropping it. It's like, what the? Okay. So your wood knocked on the tree, and that must have said, come hump me? I mean, I don't know what you were at. Is that like the red light for the Sasquatch? Are you putting a red light out?
Yo, Squatch is everywhere. There's nothing but loose hoes out here.
That's right. Loose hoes in the cabin. Not.
Oh, wow. So, okay, now they talked to, right after that, they talked to Dr. Lynn Rogers, who is also an extra, and we'll talk about that later in this. But, yeah, he's a bear biologist, right? He specializes in black bear, like Missouri or some fucking state. I didn't fucking catch it, sorry. But then we talked to Tom Steinberg, and he's that Canadian Bigfoot researcher that you see in a bunch of documentaries. And he talks about certain reports around the area and everything. So then they get to talking about the screw board that they put out. The screw board,
yes. Let's talk about the screw board for just one moment, okay? Now, I'm an amateur at all this crap, okay? I don't claim to be an expert, nothing. I don't even claim to be a researcher, for God's sakes. I am a location investigator. I go look for places they might be. That's what I do. But I know that if I'm examining a piece of evidence, I sure as hell don't handle it with my bare hands. Hey, right here's the screw board. Let's go put our fingers all over it. Jackasses. Okay, moving right along.
So then they show...
They're both doctors, by the way.
Yeah.
They're both scientists.
Yeah, exactly.
And they fingered the shit out of that board with no gloves on. Not even cotton gloves.
Yeah. Yeah, there's this one scene too where I was like, "That's just your nose hair, Meldrum."
Yeah,
Because
right.
it was like he was so fucking up on the fucking thing.
Might as well have been
It just
licking
looked
the
like-
damn galvanized screws on that board because
Yeah,
we have been out here in the
It was
weather so
funny.
damn long. Who cares?
I just fucking had a flashback of that fucking scene. But yeah, so they show that whole crew going to the cabin, right? And then they introduce the Meldrum. Now you gotta understand this was made in the early 2000s, so Meldrum hasn't been fully morphed into
The sellout that he is
Dawn,
today,
the Meldrum.
right? He hasn't fully
So
sold out.
he wasn't put down as the Bigfoot and Mongolian buttworm expert. he didn't have that in his little thing. It just said anthropologist and professor at something university, wherever he teaches. But yeah, so he wasn't calling himself all those names yet because his status in Bigfootum hadn't, But anyways, so they unload the plane, they show that whole scene, and then they fucking go right back to the screw board and start talking, about that fucking thing. And then
well, let's draw an
that they found the
imaginary
hair.
line around these screws and see if we can't
Yeah.
make it look like a Sam Squanch track.
Yeah, and that's what they do. They draw this big ass fucking weird blob, and then the fucking Meldrum says that's definitely Squatch.
And again, not a glove between them. No
Nope.
chance of not contaminating it with you.
No, and you need to keep in mind also that this guy that guy Nelson, he's an extra, and you will see what I mean later. So then they have two extras so far that you're seeing. They're getting introduced as something, but you're gonna find out that they are gonna fucking pull a M. Night Shyamalan on.
And like,
And you're just and you're just gonna be like, whoa, what a twist.
they're gonna bandana kid
It's
his
gonna
ass.
blow your mind. Yeah, Monster Quest. Very creative. I dig that. But anyway, so you get the 3D video reenactment of the fucking Bigfoot, like stepping on the fucking wood board and screw board and fucking going, ow,
And the funny thing is they show the Sam Squanch stepping on the board toes first, when we know damn well from the outline that they drew it had to have been stepping off of the porch when it stepped onto the screw board because no toes were on the damn screw board. So their animation was even friggin' wrong. It probably came around the damn side of the cabin and walked across the porch the other way, and as it was stepping off, it stomped on that thing and got it gooed all up to his foot. Dude, that would piss me off, bro. Oh my God. You know how pissed off I would be? I think that's when I would tear the cabin down if I was a Bigfoot. Like, if you left a screw board out there for me and I stepped on that bitch, I think I would have to, like, rip your porch off. I think I would just have to rip your porch clean off the damn cabin.
I don't think a Bigfoot would fuck up like that and step on that. But who knows? I'm just
the Meldrum knows.
Yeah, I'm just a failed artist. So, anyways,
You never call yourself a failed artist. You're always a starving artist.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna fake my death. No, artists, all their work gets better when they're dead.
People actually buy it when they're dead. Yeah, I don't understand it. Buy living artists
so
work.
We're gonna
Dead
fake
ones
my
don't
death.
care. Yeah, there we go.
And then next year on season 3 or 4 or whatever season we're on, I'll just wear a mask and I'll be known as Todd.
This is my cousin Todd.
Yeah. So after that, they do these old Squatch stories from like 1811 and how this guy found tracks and heard some shit. And then they introduced this cool lady, Kiefer Irwin, and she was the tracker. And she knew her shit.
She definitely walked and moved like somebody who tracks animals. I mean, anybody who goes walking fast, I'm a tracker. I'm an Indian tracker. Watch this. And they go running through a field. It's like, yeah, that's not the guy I want to follow looking for animals. Trackers move very slow, very methodical. They look at everything. Every little piece of nothing is something. It tells a little story of something. There's an animal that's moved through there. It might not be the animal you're looking for, but, a good tracker she moved like a good tracker. Anyhow, sorry. Didn't mean to go on a rampage there for a moment. Woo!
No, that's what I mean. I was going to say the same basically, but she found tracks of something she can't explain back in '84,
and not just one track, but 5.
Yeah, and she had photos of them and everything, and she pointed out that there were no claw marks, so that's what was blowing her mind about it, because a bear always leaves claw marks.
Unless the bear is really, really, really old and the claws are just worn down from, 40 friggin' years of clawing them against trees. But yeah, for the most part, if it's a bear, it's going to leave some, especially grizzlies. Grizzlies almost always leave claw marks in them. Black bears, not so much, but grizzlies for sure. But they joked about it being a Sasquatch and it being the only thing it could be, because you're not going to get 5 double steps in a row. That was always my thing with people who find these, Bigfoot amongst the bear tracks. It's like, yeah, chances are that's the same bear from yesterday that just re-stepped in that same track today when it came back through that trail. Bears are creatures of habits. So if you're finding Bigfoot tracks among bear tracks, chances are they're bear tracks. When you find them all by themselves. Or troll, yeah. Yeah, definitely trolls.
Definitely troll. But so it's day 2, it's Snell Grove.
Lake.
And the old Meldrum
in the canyon
found a diary.
Yeah, it's like the state park when you stay in the cabins there, hey, me and the little one slept in the hut, on June 28th, 1987. So there's this log of visitors to the cabin that nobody knew about or told him about, but all of a sudden it has strange occurrences in it.
Yeah, decade old, and it, they found one track, and it was big, 16 inches and some bullshit. But yeah, so they go out and set cam traps, and I thought, damn, you really just tie knots, with the. I'm like, fuck, man, that just doesn't seem right,
Back in the day, their cameras have come. The game cameras have come a long, long way with how they're deployed compared to the way they used to be, because that was the only way you could do it, dude. They came with straps to be tied to a tree. That's
just imagine just the fucking end part of it, though, trying to fucking deal with those knots. I'm not patient enough for that. I just cut the son of the bitch. Because
they were wide straps, they came right apart. The knot comes right back out of those wide straps very easily. That's why they're wide straps. Otherwise, you could just zip tie them to a tree, which is what I did. I just used big zip ties, and I just zip tie him to a tree and come back with a pair of scissors and cut him out. I mean, I wasn't an idiot. But, hey, this is the Meldrum. He has to look good on TV with everything he does.
He's got his mind full of butt worms and shit. He can't be troubled with some camera. So this Nelson guy goes out to where those tracks were found in the diary book or whatever, and camps alone and shit. And he's on the other side of the lake. I don't forget how far that they said.
And raining.
But then, so the Meldrum knocks his wood for a while.
Knocks his wood against the tree a couple of times.
And then Nelson says he's going to bang rocks, but then realize, I'm holding the camera. I can't bang rocks and hold the camera at the same time. So I'll be back with y'all, and he fucking cuts out. And then you get the best part of the fucking documentary, which you get John Green, rest in peace, and his intro, and then they start talking about John Green in a little bit, and then John Green's, interview with Albert Osman.
Yeah,
Right?
and let's
Did I
hold
say
right there for a
Osman?
moment and say hi to the people that are hanging out in the in the Lounge Fly podcast chat room. There's a crap load of people I've never seen before, so yay us, new people to say hi to. I'll get there to the top of this thing. You guys chat way a lot. I mean, a lot. Hey, Rock City Marco, Rock City Marco, glad you could join us.
Rock City.
Rod Dupree is out there as well.
In the place to be.
That's right, Starshine. She's hanging out tonight as well. Hi, you doing? Mr. Dave Jackson's in the house. Let's see who else is floating around out there. Ken! That's right. The life and times of JCM, Mr. Jebin Moore, the Jesus Christ of Monterey Bay. He says, barefoot, masturbate. Cameron Young floating around out there as well. Let's see here. Skip down just a little bit here. Arnold Short. There should be an R there, but Arnold. Nice to see
Arnold.
You. Arnold
Short. I wonder if he's tall, though.
James.
Sounds like a tall man's name.
Darrimple. Sorry if I slaughtered that. Hi back at you, man. Let's see here. Matthew Simpson. I'm pretty sure I got that one right. Juan Santana. Dun, 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 dun. I love Santana. She's got a black magic woman. Oh, that's copyrighted. Let's see who else is floating around out there. Wow, there's a lot of people. Chat, which is great. That's what is out there. Oh, Danny boy, the pipes ain't calling. Mr. Dave Stomps. How you doing, buddy?
Stomps.
Andrew Jones is in the house. Josh Smith. Holy crap, there's just bunches and bunches of people. Andrew Jones, Dave Jackson. Who else is floating out?
Dave Jackson.
Jeez Louise. Sam Rivera. How you doing, buddy? Let's see. I said hi to you. Dean Cooper finally made it in the house as well. I'm like the ever person who ever said it right. Well, thanks for right there, James Darryl. I can't say it twice, but at least I got it right. Hey, glad everybody could join us as well. So, yeah, they get into the John Green. Well, I'm looking at a pussycat. Why am I looking at your pussy? Oh, wait, now you're back. John Green's interview with Albert Osman.
Oh, what?
I was looking at a pussy for a moment. I couldn't figure it out. It had glasses on it, too. It was weird.
Yeah. Oh, I think I know what you're talking about. Yeah, so they tell the whole Albert Osman story, and everybody, that's one where, you know, he gets pulled up in a sleeping bag and then gives the Bigfoot snuff, and he's like, if you hear the whole thing, he thought that they wanted him to mate with one of them, right? Like, I don't know, but yeah. So after that, they start talking about. What the fuck did I?
I have no idea. You just lost now. We were talking about the John Green Albert Osman interview.
Yeah, well, after that whole Osman.
I got out my coffee can and my chewing tobacco
and my snuff.
I gave him my snuff, you see, and he ate the whole can. And then he ran outside because it was disgusting to him, I guess. And you know, the little one they wanted me to fuck.
Oh,
the little one they wanted me to fuck. She was over in the back eating some flowers out of somebody's asshole. So I saw my chance to break for it, and I ran. I ran as fast as I fucking could get away from these hairy fucking things. I ran as fast down here as I could fucking get away from these things. I looked back, and the fat one wasn't following me anymore. So I finally slowed the fuck down. But that's what the fuck happened to Albert Osman. Sorry, a modern interpretation of the Albert Osman little impromptu for you here on the Bigfoot Entertainment Weekly.
Yeah, so and they do this little reenactment with a Biggie suit, just laying there like, oh, I ate that stuff. Oh, like just having a gut ache. It was awesome. So then. Fucking Meldrum goes walking around picking berries and looking at fucking goat shit and says, "Oh, there's hella food for Squatch
Lots of stuff to eat here. Mm-hmm. Yeah. You can live here for a month."
And then there's the funny scene where he's talking about how he easily could have taken out this grouse, but this grouse is just playing with him and just is like, looking back at him and walking like, "You're an idiot, big guy." Like,
Well,
you know,
the truth be told, you really literally can fashion a stick weapon and kill grouse on the ground. That's why it's illegal to do that in California. They have to be in flight to kill them because that's the only thing that's sporting. Otherwise, you could literally just walk up on the ground and kick the little bastards after a while. It's kind of creepy how grouse don't run.
They're just peaceful creatures. They just want to get along with everybody.
Could you imagine like Sasquatch just like having a grouse run up to it, just reach down and pick it up and bite his head off? Gizzard. I mean,
I would think that they'd fucking pluck it.
No, I don't think so. I think they would rip it straight open and eat the meat.
Yeah.
Eat the meat. Why? The only reason we pluck it is because we cook it. If you're eating it raw, there's really no reason to cook it. You get past the skin. You can rip the feathers off with the skin if you don't want the skin. So, I mean, it's literally not hard to get to like a goose. Like the breast meat on a goose is really the only thing that's worth it. You can split that skin right open and all the feathers go right with it. Reach right in there with your hand and rip the breast off of a goose in one hand and just eat it. Throw the rest of it to the ground because the rest of it's pretty worthless, except for the if you want to eat the heart and the liver. To a giant Sasquatch that's 7 foot tall and 500 pounds, I don't know if he's going to eat a heart the size of your thumbnail, but he'll definitely take a handful of goose breast and for a good meal.
Fuck yeah, who doesn't love a goose breast? Speaking of goose breasts, they go and they pick up Nelson, whatever the fuck that guy's fucking doing now. He's a researcher at this moment. But at midnight on the last night of the expedition at the cabin, a rock is thrown, but then like several rocks are thrown because they say that the dude threw a rock and a rock was returned. So like,
yeah, but there was a whole thing about that too, and I remember something about one of the production people were unaccounted for, and that like there was some fuckery in the background going on with this particular Monster Quest Snow Grove episode that I remember Meldrum even being pissed off about. So later on, after they, long after this episode came out is when that information kind of got, and nobody ever confirmed or denied that it happened. But if there was a production dude out there throwing rocks on the top of that cabin, if you do that to people, you're an asshole. If you get caught doing that to people, I'm going to beat you. I'm literally going to tie you to a tree and leave you there. If I catch you hoaxing anything around me, I'm going to tie you to a fucking tree, and I'm going to leave you there for the animals to come eat you. So,
and the hillbillies to come butt rape you.
And back to non-butt raping with Wes.
Yeah, so then fucking, what the fuck? Oh, so Tom Steinberg talks a little bit, and then they talk about the different fucking variations of Bigfoot, and they show a little picture of a Yeti and a little picture of a Sasquatch and a Bigfoot and fucking Almasty or some bullshit, and so then after that little tidbit, they go back to Snellgrove, and everyone's giving their one-on-one of what happened with the rock, and everybody's like fucking like jazzed up, and just, I guess this is the moment where the dude threw the rock back and another rock got thrown, and so then the guy says, Nelson says, we're cowering in here, like they're scared.
This is for the first time we're actually afraid in here. Well, then you, sir, are a coward. I'm sorry, but you call in the Sasquatch over 2 days, and then he shows up, and you're afraid? No, that's when we go outside and have an interaction. We don't cower in the cabin, jackass. Sorry, I don't really use a cabin. I sleep in a hammock. I'm like a Bigfoot burrito. I whatever.
Yeah, so after that, the next morning or whatever, they find the rock that was thrown, and Meldrum had said it was like the size of a baseball, and then you see it, and the guy's like holding it.
It's the size of an acorn, right?
Yeah, it's just a fucking little fucking nut.
Well, his wife has him. Never mind.
But then, so after that, they leave Snellgrove, and you get Todd Disatel, the fucking DNA genius.
The DNA badass, Mr. Mohawk Man. That guy looks like
crooked Mohawk Man.
Yeah, I mean,
it's
look,
crooked.
he cuts his own.
Yeah,
he cuts his own mohawk.
He does because it's crooked.
Yeah, and he don't care.
It's every time I've seen this guy, it's crooked. And if you're a fucking DNA, whatever the fuck, smarty pants.
No, he's super nerd. He is a super friggin' nerd, dude. That's all he is. He's just trying to be cool with a Mohawk super nerd. We understand those people.
Pay some little.
He ain't got no money. He's working at a university. You think he's got money? That dude probably makes like $18,000 a year. He don't make no money.
That's why he's trying to make money with that one.
Yeah, that's why he's trying to be on Monster Quest to make an extra $500. Maybe he can pay some freaking Charlie down at the barbershop to freshen up his mohawk every once in a while. But he don't make no money working. He's a university grad student.
All these people on these shows, like, damn, son, like, didn't you hear us last time? Like, straighten that shit up for the next show, like.
And the sad part is they have makeup people with clippers and shit. They could have fixed it for me. He was like, "Nah, it's all right. I'm sure it's just fine." I pity the fool.
I feel bad, but yeah, dude, that shit it throws me off. I can't fucking take him seriously because if you can't get your fucking mohawk right, what makes you think your DNA testing is gonna be any better?
Is it your eyes? Is one going that way, one going this way? Is that what the problem with it is?
Naturally drawn to the left. I don't know, but yeah. So they test the DNA, all right, and then you get
human contamination. Imagine that.
Yeah, and what's it called? So, but then you get them talking about hair morphology or whatever the fuck the words for it.
Yeah,
and then you get what I'm saying is an extra because they didn't have a fucking hair morphologist fucking expertise guy. Nope. Let's just have the bear guy come and fucking
put on a lab coat.
So he puts on a lab coat and now he's the fucking
the hair morphology
scientist that's running those tests. All right. And you're just like, what the fuck? He's still got his bear shirt on.
Right.
So he does that and then they do a run to kill some time. They do a run through on sightings in Canada and everything. And then that's where I wrote the hair guy is the bear guy. But yeah, so fucking they find out that there's no medulla on one of the hairs that they found.
No Abdullah, the alligators is angry because they got all them teeth and no toothbrush. Oh no, that's a medulla oblongata. I'm sorry. No what?
Did I not write the right word?
No, I'm asking you. What did you say? No medulla?
No medulla, right?
Yeah, that's right. I got the medulla oblongata wrong.
Oh. I was like, did I write the fucking wrong word again?
Right. You're okay.
So then, yeah, and then they talk about the other hair was a wild human that never got...
a wild human? How would you know it was a wild human?
That was Meldrum's nose hair. He just didn't trim it. It should be dum dum dum. We need to fucking make that
Don Meldrum
every time we talk about the Meldrum. Dum 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 dum. Yeah,
that's happening.
It's happening.
That's happening. Coming to soon. Oh
yeah. So the Disador Hotel guy, the Crooked Mohawk, he couldn't get any DNA. He explains why and everything, but then the good old Bigfoot researcher Nelson fucking something whatever the fuck he was introduced to, he got to play another DNA guy that goes, okay, well, clearly this guy doesn't cut his hair right. I made a primer and I found DNA that was primate, and we got to test it. It's going to take years. Probably 8 years since. I haven't heard nothing of this. Have you heard anything of their DNA testing? Of his primate DNA? I haven't heard anything. But
no,
yeah,
exactly. It's like, to be continued. I'm gonna give you more results on this later.
Yeah,
never.
But it's like human, chimp, primate, and it's got one variation or something.
Yeah, where the chimps had 3.
Yeah. This has 1 or some bullshit. And so then there's some DNA talk for you smarties that get off on that shit. And then the guy Nelson, who's like a Bigfoot researcher by day, DNA special guru wizard at night, he says that it's basically a 1 in 5,000 chance that it's human. And then you basically get the whole, is Bigfoot real? Is Bigfoot stealing your tacos? Is he doing this in Canada? We'll find out next Bat Channel, and they do that whole intro. Like, they end it always with questions. They never end with answers or any bullshit on Monster Quest. It's just questions at the end. What is this? What's causing this? We didn't find shit, but tune in next time when we go looking for squids.
Exactly.
And that's the end.
Join us next time when we go in for squids. That's right. Now, actually, episode 5 was another Bigfoot episode, so that's what we'll be covering next week. We'll go into season 1, episode 5 of another Monster Quest. But the Meldrum. We'll see his morphing into the dawn of Bigfooting before too long, I'm sure, as we go along the Monster Quest issues. We want to thank everybody for joining us tonight on Bigfoot Entertainment Weekly. Don't forget, Wednesday night is the Squatchers Lounge podcast, and it will be Bigfoots around the world. That's right. Cameron Young actually gave us our topic for this week, so we're doing some studying up on that. That's coming up in a couple of days. And the brand new Bigfoot Campfire Stories will be coming out this weekend, so don't forget to watch the last one. Those little bastards actually survived, and I can't believe it. They should have died. I don't know how they survived. It was crazy. Anyhow, thanks everybody for watching. You don't have to go home, but you do have to get the hell up out of here. May the Squatch be with everybody. Bye-bye now.
In your butt.
Oh my God, I just lost it, man. I lost it. Angels dust. That's right.
Yeah, you've been having too much angels dust.
I'm eating some angels dust on watermelon. I got watermelon in the fridge too.
You smoked
No,
a
there's
watermelon-size amount of angel
there's
dust.
smoking angels dust seasoning. It's like KFC's critters.
He was seeing Scooby-Doo and Marty Mouse.
Next week.